A resume is a record of work experience, professional achievements, education, skills, certifications, and other details that makes the case for the job. It is usually the first contact between a company and a candidate. My name is Melba, and today we'll be discussing the tips for resume preparation 2020 with detailed template. What the US and Canada call a resume, most of the rest of the world called a curriculum vitae, that is a CV. The first step to landing your dream job is to create a standout resume. Today's session, I will be sharing top tips for impressing recruiters and landing your dream job. Choose the right resume format. You can't just start writing a resume by putting your information into a resume template all willy-nilly. Instead, first select from the standard resume format. Today, I will be showing you a resume pattern of an experienced candidate. There are several patterns readily available out in the world. Let's see how it looks like, and I would like to showcase the pattern which I personally use and refer to. Over here you can see a pattern of resume which I personally refer to and which I follow. So here you can see a header which is been consistent throughout the page. The header consists of the contact information and personal details. Over here you can see my name. You can add your first name, last name, middle name, which is optional. And then you can see my address over here. Then you can add your phone number, which is a personal cell phone number. And then you have to add a professional email address. And if required, you can even add your LinkedIn URL. Since it's the favored platform for professionals, include your LinkedIn profile URL to give them a better idea of what you have to offer professionally. Moving ahead, you can see the highlights of qualification. You can even start with a heading statement of resume summary or resume objective. Resume objective is generally preferred for a fresher, which I do not personally prefer for an experienced candidate. Statistics shows that hiring managers scan your resume and make an initial decision with less than 10 seconds. That's why a professional resume heading statement is super important to get right. Your resume summary statement or resume objective statement are likely to have the most eye time since it's the top of the page. Also note, a good resume summary works when you apply at a job in which you have experience. It summarizes your position-related skills and qualifications, as you can here see an example of mine. Moving ahead, you can see the education qualification. List your education correctly in proper chronological order. Many people treat the education section as an afterthought, but you shouldn't. Here's how to put education on your resume so you do not get schooled. The right resume education order is to place your highest degree first, as you can see over here. Add any other degrees after in reverse chronological order. If you finished a university degree, do not add high school information. Add any relevant coursework, honors or awards which you received over here during your education time frame. Moving ahead, you can see work experience. The order can be interchanged as well. You can even write work experience first prior to education qualification. Here you have to list your relevant work experience and key achievements. If you think your resume is a fancy meal, the resume experience section is the main course. You have knocked out the appetizer with the previous sections, so now it's time to fill your work history and past achievements before moving on. Now, I'll showcase the most recommended way to format your employment history in the job experience section. First, you have to write your job title, then the company, city or state. Then you have to mention the date employed. Thereafter, you have to mention the key responsibilities which I follow in a bulletin point. If you add more than one job history entry to your resume or CV experience section, start with the most recent position and go back in reverse chronological order from there. Use 5 or 6 bullet points to make your case in each entry's responsibilities and achievements, as I have clearly mentioned over here. Moving ahead, you can see my internship experience. This is not that important for an experienced person, but however, it will be adding a value for your resume. I have added over 3 to 4 internship experience which is relevant to my field of work. Then you can see the volunteer experience section. Volunteer boosts employability. For most job seekers, listing any volunteer experiences as one of your additional CV sections is a great way to showcase your commitments and values. It also let them know that you not only care about money. For every entry-level or first-time applicants who have no experience, volunteer works makes an excellent stand-in. Next, over here you can see workshops attended and conducted. You can add this section if you only find it is relevant to your field of experience. Over here you can see 3 of my major sections which I have been conducted workshops. Moving ahead, you can see professional skills section. Generally, people add their hard skills and soft skills in the professional skills section. The hard skills are specific abilities and know-how, for instance, Photoshop, cash register, and so on. Then you have soft skills section which are self-developed, life-learned attributes, for instance, social skills, adaptability, and so on. Combined, these make up a skill set which is a job seeker's range of skills and abilities. Over here, I have mentioned professional skills as well as my area of interest. Make sure your area of interest are in line with your career aspirations. However, I highly do not recommend hobbies for an experienced candidate, but a fresher may use it to fill the space in their resume. Moving ahead, you can see the list of publications. You can even add another section which highlights your publications and projects. You have any articles written for a blog, newspaper, or scientific journal? Mention those publications on resume. If your published material isn't in online, create a short bibliography of works you would like them to acknowledge. Also, if you have built graphic designs or other creative sections, or if your list of publications or project is too long to go on a resume, consider building an online portfolio to document everything. Link to it from the contact section in this case. You can even add certifications and awards if required. You got any certifications, license or proud awards to show off, then make sure you highlight it. I have been certified for hypnosis, and however I have added in the highlights of qualifications, and I think which is not necessary to add as a separate section. Lastly, you can even add a language section. A language section can be added according to the field and country you are applying to. If you are applying to a domestic job, you could use a region language in the language section. And if you are applying for an international job, mention foreign language such as Spanish, French, or German. Of course, I know my region language. However, I found irrelevant to add in my resume just because English serves the purpose for my job. You can even complement your resume with a cover letter. We would be soon updating the tips to write a cover letter in our YouTube channel. I hope this video would be beneficial. All the best for the job seekers. We would also like to hear your feedback on the same. Feel free to write any request of videos that we could take it forward. For more videos, please like and subscribe. We will be back with lot of insightful topics, so keep visiting us. Thank you.